Hey you all, hi, welcome back to my channel. This is a really quick video because I have one simple request for you all. And I'm just gonna even skip if you're new to my channel, subscribe and all that stuff. Okay, so what I'm wondering, what I wanna ask you all is this one question. If you could recommend me one historical fiction book, the best, the creme de la creme, your favorite, the one that you hold in highest regard, one historical fiction book, what would it be? And I am both going to follow my own rule and break my own rule. So if I were to recommend one historical fiction book it's just my favorite. It's not a secret. I love this book and the books that follow, which is why I am both following my own rule and breaking my own rule. I would recommend Wolf Hall by Hilary Mantel. This is my favorite historical fiction read of all time. It's been incredibly treacherous to try and unseat it. There have been books that have come close, but ultimately this holds my highest regard. I love this set. This is about Thomas Cromwell. This series, not set. I'm obviously very excited. I love this series. It's about Thomas Cromwell, and it's really about Thomas Cromwell. For years and years and years has been depicted as a villain, as the scapegoat. He is not a good guy in most of history, and so what Hilary Mantel does is she tweaks the lens a little bit, and she's like, well, what if he really wasn't a bad guy? What if he was actually a really high moral person and had a rich internal life and had lots and lots of deep thoughts and feelings? And what if he was misunderstood in the most wonderful, beautiful, incredible way? And she turns him into a character that you actually root for. And for a long time, we called my husband Tedwell because he just reminded me of someone who was often misunderstood. You know, people misunderstood my own husband. And really, if you just kind of scratch slightly underneath the surface, you could see just how wonderful and amazing and kind and compassionate my own husband is. And it reminded me a lot of Thomas Cromwell. Like, people assume that Cromwell is this murderous person and he doesn't really correct people. And actually my husband is like that too. But we're not going to get all off on that. Even if you don't have a husband like Thomas Cromwell, I think that you will really, really, really love Hilary Mantel's Wolf Hall. And then the reason why I am both following my own rule and breaking my own rule of one fantastic, amazing, high-regarded recommendation is that, you know, you have to go on to read Bring Up the Bodies and The Mirror and the Light, because there are 3 books in this astonishing series and they are all fantastic. So what I'm hoping to do is I'm hoping to make a follow-up video about y'all's favorites, like the book that you would recommend. And if you need if you need to narrow it down just ever so slightly, if you're like, that's too much, there are so many favorites, then what one historical fiction book would you recommend to me? I like sort of off the beaten path historical fiction. I like weird historical fiction. I like things that are a little more complex and icky, mucky, sort of get in the weeds of things, maybe written in a little bit of an offhanded way or something that is slightly different to set it apart. That's what I like. And gosh, the writing, Mantel's writing is just amazing. So, okay, that's it. It's a quick one. I just mostly want to hear from you, and hopefully I'll also put up a community post. And then hopefully I can come back with a ton of recommendations, a ton of only the creme de la creme recommendations from y'all. And we'll kind of get into the weeds together with historical fiction. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. And I will see you all in my next one. Bye!